When you think fishing season is over, Bushiroad swims in right again with another big reveal, but this time it's a stride.
Stand up! Vanguard!
Hey Cardfighters, welcome back to yet another Cardfight update. Today we have a very special reveal as it's the very first stride unit from the upcoming premium collection. And this card is gonna confirm some interesting theories that has been floating around on the internet, as well as some general ideas what this premium collection is going to give to us premium players. In theme with the other reveals of the last couple of weeks, the first card they revealed was of course a Bermuda Triangle card. A stride nonetheless. And that was Wishful Sunny State Shandy. And as you can see here, she's your typical normal stride with the plus 15k and the generic grade 4 with triple drive. It's just a normal stride that we've seen years and years in the G era. She has 3 skills as well as your typical stride clause to indicate how you can use stride this card onto the field. Her first skill is very self-explanatory. It's auto on Vanguard circle, harmony. So basically it has the harmony skill, so if you call something behind her in the same column, she and that unit will go into the harmony state. Then her second skill is continuous of Vanguard circle. If you have 6 or more units in harmony, this unit gains critical +1 for each face up card in your G zone. So if you have an entire field in harmony, she will gain at least 1 critical if you use her in tandem with her third skill. But it can stack, so mid to late game, maybe something in the ballpark of 6 or 7 crits. After 4 crits is not really that useful, but maybe you can make a Gize-like style that it has 6 crits and you damage the item everything and you kill them that way. That can maybe be a thing. But the main fluff about this card is her third skill, as that's auto on Vanguard circle. When it attacks, cost, counter +1. Turn a card in your G-zone face up, so it's not a Persona Blast. Look at the 10 cards from top of your deck. Call up the same number of cards from among them as your units in harmony to the rearguard circle and shuffle your deck. So basically, you can superior call from the top 10 of your deck and build an entire new field. So if you have an entire field in harmony, you can then superior call 6 new cards. So you can attack with everything and then recall a new field and then attack once again. It's pretty damn powerful as a first stride in that sense that you can multi-attack like crazy and you can build a new field. But besides that, it's a little bit awkward in the sense that how Bermuda works. As typical with Bermuda, you want to bounce stuff back mid-battle and call new stuff, so you're not really minusing on the fields because you're bouncing it back to hand and then call something else. But this card forces you to call on top of already existing units if you have an entire field already filled out, so you call 6 new units. However, you can plus from this card, as you can maybe have only your center column filled and your left column filled, so you have 2 rearguard circles on the right column still empty. You will have 1 column in harmony, so you can at least call 2 cards. So when you use her skill, you can then call 2 new cards to the empty circles and you +2 from this particular skill. So in that sense, you can generate more value out of the card in that sense, but you will lose mid-game pressure as you're playing with a half empty field at that point. What also is a little bit awkward is that this stride forces you to put them in harmony in the turn that you use this stride itself. So you cannot really fill your field in the early games as you will have no way to bounce them back in your main phase or maybe in your attack phase that's easy, resulting in that this skill might not even proc in that sense. So you need to be a little bit more conservative in the early game. Then when you stride into this thing, you then fill out your field, gain your harmony on life, and then you can use her skill. If you look at it like this card in a single perspective, it's a pretty damn decent card as it allows for multi-attacking, has some high pressure with the crits, and it's a good first stride. And also a late game stride if you're going with the higher crit value with all the multiple cards in your G-zone. It could have been a really good card. If it wasn't for the case, the Bermuda Triangle already has a similar card that does a lot of these things a lot better and a lot more easier in a more consistent way. I'm of course referring to School Student Council President Alk. As most of you Bermuda Triangle players already know about this card that came out in the last clan booster for them. And as you can see in the skill, it basically does the same thing in a sense that you can multi-attack mid-battle, only the better part about this card is that this one can bounce in your main phase some units back to hand, and then you can call them once again to activate your harmony. So if you already have a filled field, you can then use her skill, bounce 2 units back, so in your maybe your left column and right column, and then call them immediately back to the field. Your columns now have harmony. With his Vanguard on attack skill, you can call 2 rearguards back, basically in the first side, because you flip something up and then you can rebounce 2 units, and they can immediately call 2 units back. Yes, that's not the same as checking top 10 and then calling new units to the field. You're not plussing off this skill. That's the main difference. Shandy can plus, but not in all scenarios. Alk will never plus on her own. But Alk will not also minus you if you're gonna call an entire field. And with Alk, you can then multi-attack without any problem. You can say that, well, with Shandy, you're not really that forced to play a lot of harmony, as besides the fact that your units need to be in harmony to activate their skill, it doesn't really explicitly say that you need to call harmony units or you need to have that many harmony units. In Alk's case, it does. You need to bounce back 2 cards with harmony. So if you cannot do that, if you do not run enough harmony units, then you cannot pay her cost. So in the case of Shandy, you can say, well, I'm gonna run some force marker grade 3s, and then that power with the crits is gonna be a significance, as 28 is not really a scary number, but 38 becomes a little bit more scarier. But then again, then you can look at Alk, and her GB3 will make everything +5, so every column is probably +10, and that's basically 3 force markers you already have there. And in Alk's case, you can also run grade 3 with force markers, as you have a lot of other grade 2s and grade 1s with harmony ability. In a sense, Shandy and Alk look a lot similar, but there are some differences, as Alk needs to have a good hand to work, as you're not plussing anything and you do not draw more from deck, and Shandy does. Shandy can work with a bad hand, as she's checking the top deck and then calling something up to the field, as well as you can plus directly from it. But overall, Shandy is still a solid card in the sense that you can plus off it, you can have some multi-attacking, maybe not in a more consistent way with Alk, but at least you have some extra options available to you, as well as the fact that you can stack crits like crazy on this thing. Might be the case that there is a different approach to a Gize-like build for harmony maybe. But we have to wait to see for the other cards, as we're probably gonna get a G-Guard and some other supporting card, depending, maybe it's a grade 3 or something. We have to wait to see for that. But besides this card, we now know a few things about the upcoming premium collection with the rest of the support for the other clan. The strides are gonna be primarily normal strides, as we've seen. They're 50k plus 15k. They do not have a gift marker, as I speculated in the beginning. But there is something that's very interesting. It's the fact that they are supporting keyword aspects. So probably expect that Morfessa is going to get a ritual supporting card skill. Maybe she will have ritual, or she's supporting ritual in some sense. And the same is going to be for History Maker. It's definitely going to get a time leap skill, but we have to wait and see in what extent. I'm very happy the fact that they are sticking with keywords. They are supporting those older archetypes, but still in the sense that they can be run in a non-keyword related deck with maybe 1 or 2 cards. As with Shandy, you can stick it in any Bermuda deck that maybe runs only 1 or 2 harmony cards, as it still fixes and works in that sense. Alk, not so much. You need to run a very harmony heavy deck to make Alk function in the most consistent way possible. But that's about everything for me today. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about the new stride for Bermuda Triangle, as well as the prospect of these new cards and these new strides for the premium collection. What are your thoughts about it? Let me know in the comments down below, as I'm very curious. As always, I want to thank my Patreon supporters, Priest and John Edmondson, for supporting this channel. You guys are amazing and making a big difference on here. And if you want to support the channel like they do, then head on over to patreon.com/VanguardInsider and support us today. I'm Mr. Time Leap, and I see you guys in the next one.